Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to look at the different ways of sharing files and folders on the Google platform. The first and probably the easiest way of sharing these would be simply to go to your drive, as I am here. And should in case you don't remember how to do that, let me just give you a quick refresher. You open your Gmail and select from the icon, or another way of doing that is simply to type drive.google.com once you are logged in to the account that you want to work from. So here I am in the school's Google Drive that I'm using, and if I right click on any one of these documents or folders, I can share them. So for example, if I right click on this Google Sheet that I call test, I'm going to get a share option here in the dialog box that comes up, and that gives me now two options. The first is I can simply add people by entering their emails here. I click here and I get the members of the class. Let me escape that. Or if the person is not in my contact list, I can get a link that I can send to them. But it is very important that you understand the kind of privileges or restrictions that you have, that you can enable here. So if you just copy this link, it says this is restricted. Only people added can open the link. So it's only people that you add here will be able to open this link. But if you click here, then you are going to get the opportunity to do different permission or different levels of restriction. For example, right now it is said that anyone in your school can view your file. You could set it to anyone could comment on the file, or anyone can edit the file. Now, I would not encourage that level of freedom. So what I would recommend is that anyone in the group with the link can view the file. Since we are working collaboratively as a team, I would probably add anyone in the group can comment, because we want our classroom experience to be one that you have collaborative fluencies. So we are going to start practicing that right now. When you are finished, in this case, what I'm going to do is ask you to add me by using this email address that you see here, and you can give me the same commenter. I do not want to be editing your work for you, because that is going to rob you of the opportunity of being independent. But any little comment that I can give, or your classmates can give to help you, would be a good thing. So let me just come out of this, click done. So that was for the Google Sheets. The same thing holds if it's a Google slide or if it's a folder. Now, I would tell you to hold back on sharing of the folder with your classmate now. Just share the documents as you work on them. So, for example, we are doing our portfolio now. So, I right click, no, I don't want to preview nor open. I want to share. And you notice that we are getting the same set of dialogues coming up. I want to share a form. The procedure is the same. So this is just simply one way of sharing. And when you look at the other methods, I think this is the most straightforward, the easiest way. Go to Google Drive, find the documents. Before you open it, don't open it at all. Locate the file, locate the folder, right click and go to the share button and determine what privilege or what options you are going to give to the users in terms of sharing. In this section of the video, we are going to look at how to share documents that are opened. So let me just open a Google Doc, that is the word processing processing component of the Google Suite, a spreadsheet, and the presentation software. And if you look at the top right hand corner of any one of these files or documents, you are going to see a share button that gives you the same options where you can add people, and you can determine the restrictions or the privileges that these folks that you are sharing with. I'm not going to enter anything here. I'm just going to just click them to let you know that these are available, and you can determine the restrictions that you are going to give each person who you make that link available to. So that should be very easy and straightforward, no problem with that. Let's move on to two other documents which share a little differently when they are open, and those are forms and websites. In this section of the video, we are going to look at how to share forms that you are working on, because as you've seen a while, it's a little different than the standard Office application. So let's open. I am going to open the contact form that we used in the portfolio tutorial, and the first thing you are going to see is a send and not a share button up here. But if you think of it's basically one way of sharing, because let me click the send button. So I click the send button, and you can see that you could send it via email. But what you are sending here is the link to the live form that the user has to fill out, not the link to the editable version of the file. So let me just copy that link, paste it here, and open the form, and you are going to see this link. No one can modify the form. All you have to do is to add your information. So I'm going to close this and go back to the form. Once again, I'm going to click the send. You can also, if you are working on our website, you can click this and get the code to actually embed this form into the website. We are going to look at that a little further on into the course, because remember, you have to be digitally fluent. You have to be able to create all of these very important elements and documents in the world that we are living in, because you should understand that we are in a data-driven society now, and creating forms to collect data is going to be a very important skill that you must master. Anyway, let's get back to how to share the forms. So to share the form for editors, now you click this ellipsis up here and you come down to add collaborators, and you would notice that it gives you the same dialog boxes that we are familiar with before, where you can add by email and you can determine the restrictions or privileges that you are going to give the person here. In this case, you want to add editors. Editors is the only choice that you have here. If you want to just simply have viewers, you use the other option, that is the send. So let me just come out of this. I think this is simple enough. We can call that it for forms. In the next section of the video, we are going to look at how to share websites that you are working on. So let's get to that now. Okay, in this section, we want to look at how we can share a website while we are working on it in the Google Website Editor. So I just opened our demonstration portfolio site. If you look here, you are going to see, instead of a share button or a send button, we have a publish button, which gives us some option where we can look at our publish settings. And in the publish setting, we are going to see the link. This link is the link to the website once you have published it. Let's cancel that, but you're not going to share that now. You could also click on this button to publish your website. In that, if you have not published your website, it would not be available to anyone, but we will get to that. This website, by the way, have been published when I was creating it as a demonstration for you. However, if we want to share for just to share the link of the completed website with someone, we could go to this little link here, and if we click it, we are going to get this link that we could copy and send to your friend to see, hey, look at my masterpiece of a website. Or if you have any potential clients that you want to send it to, you can also do that here. But we are looking at the whole idea of collaboration, because we want to get your collaboration fluencies on track. So on track. So the icon that we are going to look at here is this one, the share with others icon. Now, if we go back to the Google Drive, remember when we were right clicking, then you notice that you have this same icon here. So this gives you the same privileges. So if I click on the share with others here, we get the opportunity where we can share the website, send an email and say, okay, come work with me here. All right, so that is straightforward enough. Now, the thing about it is that the privileges is slightly different. So let me click on them. Anyone in the group can edit. So we could send the link to people who we want to edit with. That is collaboration. You want to say, okay, I think you should, and they can move it and so on. And you could also send the publish site to individuals. So you are going to determine here. Now, if you are sharing with me, you could send it as a viewer. I can make suggestions when I look at the site, but I don't want to be editor because I don't want to be helping you directly with your work. So let's leave it as viewer, and we will click done. And that's basically it with respect to sharing your website with others. So with this brings us to the end of the video. You should by now have everything you need to share documents, files, folders with anyone. Thank you.